Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And today we're at episode number 5 of Mild Melty Cheeses. And today's featured cheese is Havarti. But before I get into these various kinds of Havarti I have here, I'm going to cut into this cheeseburger I just made. I just grilled the burger on my outdoor grill and melted cheese on it on the grill. I separately grilled the bread in a skillet like you would do a grilled cheese. So it should have all the flavors of a grilled cheese plus a burger. Here we go. Before it gets cold and gums up. It's a mild cheese, but I can taste it on this. Meat is unsalted. The bread has some salt. The butter might even be unsalted. I'm picking up dairy notes. I can't really say more than that. I could say buttery, but that's the bread grilled, right? So, just wanted to show a melted cheese application using Havarti. It melted all over the place. And it makes a wonderful cheeseburger. That's one thing you can do with Havarti. So we're going to get this guy out of the way. Move our usual selection into place here on this little slate. And get this burger out of the way so it won't tempt me. I'll eat it in a minute. But Havarti is one of the things I found in Thorpe's book, The Book of Cheese. It's a very thorough book, and this chapter that I'm focusing on in this series, this is the third series I've done, is called the Havarti Gateway. If you like Havarti, you will also like Asiago. You will also like raclette. You will also like sheep Gouda, other Gouda, Fontina, Monterey Jack, Colby, blah blah blah. So this is her flavor spectrum with very approachable flavors on one end of the scale, and then you get more and more flavors, and they get more and more intense. And over here, they smell like rotting things and stinky socks. And then the ones down here are more available. Ones up here are much more specialty items that you would find in a cheese shop, in a good cheese shop. So it's kind of a spectrum of where things fall. And Havarti is pretty simple. It's very available and very mildly flavored. So right down here. So there'll be a link to this in the description below. So I have not opened up these things. I have here two domestic Havartis. This one is Yancey's Fancy. I don't know why they call it Bergenost. And this is Castello Creamy Havarti. And I've already been into this to make the cheeseburger. So I'm just going to cut right through the plastic, wax, and everything. Because I just need small samples for tasting. Room temperature Havarti is very limp. And a chunk of the Castello. And this is a Danish Havarti, which is where it's from. It's where it originated. Get some cut up. Okay, yeah, this is going to work. Getting that translucent look that some cheeses get when they warm up a bit. So, a few nice pieces of the, I don't know what brand it is. What else? Tiny little scrap of probably domestic cheese with jalapeños in it, so you see little red and green bits. I'm probably most interested in this Danish one, so I will take a piece of Danish Havarti. Very creamy, wet, loose. somewhat pasty. Well, it's stringy in my mouth. It's got a really good texture. I would love to taste this one on a burger. This Castello's a little firmer. Well, I don't know. This has a nice taste, buttery. A little salt, I can tell. Slightest hint of a tang, like I got in the Gouda. And it's just a nice, pleasant, almost sweet set of dairy notes. Wow, that's good. Let's do a little cracker. Kind of, again, creamy, buttery, rich. Good mouthfeel. I think this has some cream added to it before it's made into, before the milk is made into cheese. But I could be wrong about that. I should do more research. Okay, one more. Let's put it on flatbread. Wonderful flavor, wonderful texture at room temperature. It's got everything you need in a mild cheese. I'm moving over to the Yancey's. I'll cut a few pieces. Give that a taste. So I think, yeah, the Danish one's going to be my standard. So let's try Yancey's. Not quite as rich in texture. It's still loose, wet, somewhat pasty. This has a little slightly better mouthfeel. But this flavors are good here. There's probably less salt. Buttery, dairy notes for sure. Let's see how it is on a cracker. Very good. It is not very salted, but it stood out on the unsalted flatbread. So that's good. I guess I'll do one more cracker if this thing breaks right. Oh, good. It worked. I can put a nice piece of Yancey Havarti on this. It is maybe the lowest salt level here today. And on the unsalted crackers, the flavors are more interesting. They pop because of the contrast with the cracker material. Dairy notes are still there. They're interesting and still buttery. So, moving on to Castello Domestic Havarti. I'll do this piece on a lower salt Triscuit. Oh, the wheat accentuates some of the butter notes. Dairy, milk, cream. Definitely mild flavors. So burgers are good, grilled cheeses are good. Or you can melt it on vegetables if you're looking for some topping to make vegetables a little more interesting. I'm gonna move over to this pepper cheese now. I didn't see a brand. The grocery store I got this at had the very same label as for the imported Havarti here, but I would think they would not do this in Denmark. So that's probably an American treatment. Let's see. Nice creaminess. And every once in a while there's a little flash of capsaicin material. That's good. Oh yeah, there's more heat in that piece. So I don't think I'm going to do any pairings of this. I just brought it because I have a scrap of this pepper cheese left. And it's a Havarti, so here it is. Nice set of flavors. The peppers, jalapeños really popping. And that last bite. So I'm going to do a little cleanse and move on to some pairings. So I'm going to go a Triscuit. And I'm going to do the Danish Havarti and a Mission Fig, which have been cut in half. So let's see if I can hold all this thing together. Great flavor combination. Fruitiness and figginess goes really well with the dairy notes. The sweetness is a good contrast. A little salt in the cheese is a contrast to the fruit. And the Triscuit's just kind of a neutral player here. Gives some texture. So Havarti is down a notch on the flavor scale, like we saw in the little spectrum page. So there's a little less flavor than Gouda or Asiago. But the flavors that are there can be really good. It depends on which creamery is doing the making, I would think. So you should be able to find your kind of dairy notes, your kind of butteriness level, and your kind of salt level. And then maybe stick with that creamery. Okay, I'm going to do this domestic Castello. And I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I've got sunflower seeds here. So it should be nutty. It should be a little more salty. I would think they're fairly strong flavors. It ought to stand out. Oh, let's put the logo back. And let's find out. Oh, I don't know if I can get this in my mouth. Good combination. You don't need that many sunflower seeds. You can use half of what I put on. And you'll know it's sunflower seeds. And good strong flavors and a good combination. The dairy notes, the butteriness. Really goes along with the sharper, I don't know, sharp isn't the word. Rich sunflower seed flavors and the oiliness of the sunflower seeds. That was a good one. Okay, I'm encouraged to try something with pistachios. I'm gonna use the Danish Havarti and try to squish in probably about 3 pistachios. Let's find out. Usually these have to be torn up in small pieces or chewed up. You gotta bite into them to get some flavors. Okay, that works. The nuttiness is the weakest flavor, but it's in there. It's interesting. It's salty. You can tell it's a little pop from the salt, from the nuttiness. But it's pretty mild. Break it up in small pieces so you have more and more broken surfaces. And now, oh, this will be a slam dunk. I'm going to do a little bacon. How could it fail? And you don't need much. This is fairly thick cut and meaty, salty, smoky. So let's go. Strong flavors, strong flavors. Bacon's very loud. Whoa. And the dairy notes of the cheese are a great backdrop for it. So plenty of salt in that bite and plenty of flavor. That's good. So Havarti is mild. Some people might think boring, but you can get a lot of mileage out of it putting it into dishes. You can make a good mac and cheese with it. You can make a good sandwich with it, grilled cheese. Or like I did, make a cheeseburger out of it. Very useful, and it melts well. I think that'll wrap up this episode here. So again, please like, subscribe, leave comments and questions, share it with friends, and click on that bell to get notified. And we will keep marching on through these mild, melty cheeses. So come back for more. Cheers.